Welcome everyone, it's the Man United Agenda, and yes, it's the post-match show. The first game in the new era, post-match show and post-Amarin show. We've got Darren Fletcher in charge, and we're going to look at everything to do with this game, a 2-2 draw away at relegated, threatened Burnley. Mr. B,
relegated. Yeah, relegated is the word. Burnley are going to get relegated, bruv. Burnley are going to get relegated. That wasn't our best performance, but we'll discuss it, I suppose, isn't it? I suppose we have to try and dissect it for a bit. But it wasn't what I was expecting, I'll put it that way.
I want to say thanks to Colin in the chat with us as well. If you did tune into the watch along, thank you. I know Stephanie did. She's saying well done. That's the only well done she's going to give out today, because or maybe to Cisco as well. You got a brace of goals. But yeah, let's talk about the game. Mr. B, before the game, both of us were kind of confident, saying, yeah, we're going to get the points. I said 3-0. I thought we were going to do Burnley because of their in relegation situation. And, the reaction you get when you get a new manager coming in. But it didn't go our way tonight. You said 3-0, 3-1, didn't you?
Yeah, I said 3-1. I said 3-1. I didn't see them scoring 2. But, yeah, that's okay. That's what we're doing.
Well, one thing, let's talk about it. I mean, this is Darren Fletcher's first game in charge, and clearly he's put his own stamp on it. He hasn't gone to 3 at the back. He's started with a team that I think most of us could have really predicted, with Lemons in goal. Our right back was Dallo. The 2 centre backs now, that was Heaven and Martinez. No complaints there. They've been informed. And short left back, no issues. Centre midfield was a 2. It looked like a 2 midfield with Ugarte and Casemiro. Yeah, good with that.
Yeah.
And ahead of them, you picked your team yesterday. You put Mason Mount to start with Bruno and Cunha, didn't you?
Yeah.
So like the only difference is Dorgu played and gave us a bit of width, and he started on the left hand side.
Yeah.
And then obviously Shevko up front. Yeah. So with that starting line, I mean, we don't know about injuries and returning from injury, but clearly Bruno came back in the side. You said he was available the other day, didn't you? He was getting back to fitness, Mr. B.
Yeah, we was all it was what we expected. Size-wise, no. Bruno, he had spoken about Bruno being available for the last game, so we knew he was going to get some game time, and they said obviously they were going to monitor the amount of minutes that he played, so you always knew he was going to start and then come off at some stage. But yeah, it's been a bit deflated, Yabba. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it. I mean, we're up against a team that's really struggling, threatening with relegation. As Burnley. They've got a few good experienced players with, the right back and the striker from Chelsea, and they're a good outfit. 100 points in the Championship last season, but looks like they're going to struggle to go, and they might go down. But we've given them points again, like we've given away points for free. The draw. Seems like we can't finish our dinner at that moment. We started off well, but they had a great opportunity. They scored early after 13 minutes. Let's talk through that goal, because it looks like Casemiro wasn't doing the work. He was ball watching, let guy run off him.
Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't sure who it was. I was watching it on a smaller screen, but when I watched it again on the big one, yeah, I mean, he embarrassed, like, he embarrassed him. I mean, it wasn't a dirty run, he didn't jink him. He just ran straight past him. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, what can you do in that situation? Because Casemiro's square on. He's just ball watching. Should he be sideways on and sort of looking and going with the guys?
He didn't do his job, and then yeah, I would think so. I mean, I would like to see it again and see if the guy maybe tried to chop him or do something, but good night in the morning. Yeah, it seemed too easy. Yeah, but it was too easy. you know,
And
straight in behind. And the fact that the ball touched the player, it was just such a, and you can't blame Heaven. I don't blame Heaven at all for
well,
that.
I think I saw people talking to Heaven, and he was sort of like looking around, and Martinez was having a word with him, like as if to say it was his fault. But he done all right. He had a guy he was sort of looking after, and he had to go over there, put his hands behind his back, and it's just unfortunate, I think. But Casemiro, for me, should have really, tracked the runner. You can't just pass them on or pass them on and speak it, but he didn't do either of that. And I just think that for an experienced player like that, maybe he hasn't got legs anymore, but you got to cut that out. You don't let people run off you. And I think coming against Man United, younger players who are good runners are going to run off Casemiro, thinking easy work in future. But yeah, Casemiro to blame for that, Mr. B?
Yes, 100%. 100%. I don't think there's any argument on that, to be fair. Guys, there's a few of you in the chat. If you are new to it, look, drop a comment. That's what you're here for. We'll get your comments read. Well, I've seen one from where have you gone? From you. Are they
Isaiah Towns?
Yeah.
How you doing, man? He says, "How your day going?" Well, it was going all right up until that result. We're a bit disappointed. I know you're trying to mock, but it's all good. It's all good. But welcome to the channel. And we've got Stephanie obviously saying, well, good watch along. I hope you guys did tune into the watch along. Big up to Solo as well. Steffi saying here, 30 shots, which is a record for us this season. 10 on target, should be winning the game, but disallowed goal was a disgrace. What do you think about that? I mean, because, this is in the first half, I think, as well. We had a goal disallowed, didn't we? It was
Martinez
it's a bit of a scramble in the court, I think it was the corner. And, man,
I know
down quite easily.
Yeah, and that's what it was. But all players go down easily now. That's what they do. That is what they do. So, yeah, the fact that it was a slight wrestling match, I didn't see there was anything wrong with the goal. I was fuming that it wasn't given. But the way that football's going now, you can understand why it was. But I'm sure that happens in every game.
And you only have to look, if you look at that set piece or corner, everybody was wrestling. Everyone was wrestling. It's just that Kyle Walker decides to go down and wave his hands about, and the referee's falling for it. I mean, if Kyle Walker's really wanted to stand up and stay up, he would have stood up, no doubt, in my opinion. So that's a bit disappointing. I think that was one that got away from us. And who was it who slotted it home in the end with that one? I think because Casemiro headed it.
Same guy who cleared the ball off. The same guy who headed the ball off the line.
Okay, yeah.
Somebody in the chat's going to tell us.
Yeah, yes. So Kieran's saying here, can't stand Dallo. He's absolutely useless. I watched him on crosses and Shaw, another waste of space. I wouldn't go that far with Shaw, but Dallo.
I thought Shaw did all right today. Dallo, you know me and Daisy already. I'm done with him from time. So the sooner Mazraoui comes back, the better.
Yeah, but we did. I mean, looking at the kind of way the game was going, I felt we had a lot more control. I was liking the width and whipping in crosses. Obviously, we had with this inside forwards with right footers playing on the left footers on the right. We had a bit of balance with Dorgu. He was whipping in crosses, and that was giving Xisco a license to do what he does, which is run off the ball and get some good headers on, which he did get a lot of headers on target as well. So
he had a lot on. I think he had 7 shots on target, which is apparently a Prem record or something today.
Wow.
So, I mean, the thing is, he started really badly. Yeah, but don't you think his touch?
Yeah,
he wasn't holding up the ball.
Yeah,
in maybe the first. I would probably say the whole first half, if not at least 35 minutes of it. So I was for taking him off. I really was. I was for taking him off because nothing stuck. It was like playing with the other guy that we had.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It was embarrassing, but it just seemed to click after that. It just seemed to click.
Well, thankfully we didn't take him off, and Bruno's back in the side, and yeah, I thought that goal was excellent, man. I think what we don't realize, we look at Xisco, we think he's tall and strong, and can hold up play, which you was talking about there in the first half wasn't so good. But running off the ball and working the channels was amazing today. And Bruno, I mean, just dictates the play. We've missed him. He played a lovely slide rule pass into Xisco, peeled off his defender, and slotted it home first time.
Great finish, great pass, nice and simple. And that's all you asked for. He made the run. Bruno found him. The rest, as they say, is history.
What do you think about Bruno's performance? Because obviously he's playing in a role he hasn't played in for a long time, as a bit further forward.
Muscle memory, man. He didn't change the way he played, regardless of whether he played deep. You didn't see Bruno's Bruno. His numbers speak for itself. Yes, we get frustrated with him, but we missed him. We spoke about missing him in the last game, and even when he came off today, the team kind of fell off. Mount coming into that position, the team kind of fell off. So, he's going to be key for the rest of the season. I cuss him every other week, but then I love him the other 2 weeks. So it's just when it's just we flip flop between our players, and with Bruno, I'm probably one of the bigger flip flops. But look, it is what it is, isn't it?
Big up to Marcus Trader. Sorry, he's saying hi. Hello, how you doing, Marcus? I don't know how you felt about the game. New era under Darren Fletcher. Heaven missed a simple header from 3 yards out. My gosh. What? I mean, come on, man. That's bread and butter. How the hell did he was free? He peeled off his man. He was there on his own in front of the goal, and he decides to just flick it off his shoulder, and it goes wide. I mean, come on.
That would have made up for maybe the fact that he fought with his part in the own goal, you know what I mean? And maybe the glory had come to him first, because I said he had the whole flight of the ball. Yeah. He had the whole flight of the ball. I can't, all right, he's a defender, fine. But defenders are good at headering. You know what I mean? It just, it wasn't a good one. It wasn't a good one. I think he had glory.
So the second half was a good performance. I mean, obviously we scored after 50 minutes to equalise with that great slide rule pass from Bruno and Xisco. And then Xisco's got his brace. Brace goals. I mean, he's doubled his tally for the season. I mean, the second goal, just talk us through that, Mr. B, if you recall what happened there.
It's simple again. Dorgu, I don't know how the ball found Dorgu, but
it was a 1-2 on the halfway line.
1-2. But, you're right, 1-2, yeah. So he broke down. Xisco peeled off his man in between the two. And he crossed the ball, not early, but he crossed the ball at the right time. Xisco peeled in, first time, knocked the ball off. What I will say to that is, there's not going to be a lot of goals like that scored this season.
Why do you say that?
Why? Because everybody plays inverted, bruv.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Those goals sweep me the most, because those are goals that you say you can't stop, but you can to a certain extent. But everything was so fluid. 1-2, you're beating the man. You're now 1-on-1. You don't wait for the man to close down. You get an early crossing. Xisco already knows the ball's coming. Seen the fly with the two defenders are static back, straight in the bottom corner. You know what I mean?
I really like that. It's really basic, isn't it? Simple and basic and effective.
Yeah. A goal that we made. A goal that's typical, isn't it? That's like a goal that we made. Give away one, and make two, and it still costs us the game,
I want to say big up to Marcus. Thanks for the sub, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just think when I look at Xisco, he's got a bit of confidence now going into that second goal. And his movement was brilliant. It's typical forward movement. He's seen the defender. They're all backing off. He's gone to the right side. And then at the last second, just peeled in front of the defender. Great movement and got there first and slotted it home. Lovely. I mean, that was a really good finish. And like, Mr. B, great point you make. You don't see those sort of goals that often anymore. There was a stat the other day about what is Fergie's style and who's more suited to that. And the last time Fergie won a league in 2013, with the data, it showed that he was whipping in crosses time and time again, and getting joy off that. And I think that's what Xisco will thrive off, sort of that sort of service. And tiny finish, says Andrew Williams. Would anyone else have been embarrassed to be top four? We were useless. Yeah, I mean, Andrew's still not quite there yet with Man United, and neither are we, Andrew. I mean, we do agree with you, but it's just it's a process to get him back, and we're just trying to break down where we can improve. I mean, looking at the squad depth, Mr. B, we've gone. Obviously, we had to take off Bruno after that. We've gone 2-1 up, and it's about trying to secure the win. And we brought on Mason Mount, no issues there. That's a standard thing. And we also brought off Casemiro, Ugarte, Kobe at the same time. Yeah. So Kobe's back fit. That's a bit suspicious. But
right. Look. We'll save that for another time, innit? Yeah. But I said something to you, innit? I said something to you about Kobe and that pussy hole. I said something to you about him and that guy, innit? But look, we'll
That's another chat. That's
yeah,
another chat.
yeah.
But how do you think? I mean, Kobe's back in the reckoning. I mean, he played pretty well, didn't he? This is what Kobe did. When you see him on the ball, he's just so composed, so strong, just rolls away from people.
You
Just,
said strong. You said strong. He held off the guy.
Yeah.
When he held him. He was waiting for the ref to blow for the foul. He held him. He didn't give it no problem. Bounced it off all right. He didn't play the perfect pass. But just having that kind of technical ability on the pitch, man. I don't know what the issue was. I don't care what the issue was. But Kobe's now fit to play, innit?
Yeah.
He's now fit to play. So I'm thinking straight away, the next couple of games, Ogate or Casemiro, one of them man is out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of them man is out of the football team. Yeah.
Especially,
I don't care.
Yes. Especially when the way things are going with like Bruno, he does drop deeper. So you could say it's a free in midfielder sometimes. And this is what everyone was saying. Oh, Kobe would play in a free. But even with things adjust, systems adjust, and I think Kobe's suited now to come in the side. There's no reasoning why he can't go ahead of Agate. Agate inceptions, yeah, he does that job, but overall, yeah, Kobe is back. As you can see,
he's back. I don't have to take down my poster, man.
Big up to Kieran in the chat. He's saying, "Trust the process, lads. We go draws against West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, and Burnley. That's 4 games. That would have been 8 points. Imagine that if we'd won those."
You know what? I think this season's going to be one of those, a lot of if and buts if we don't get what we want, as in regards position wise. But now we've spoken about all of the subs that came on, but the youths that we've been talking about and wanting to see something of came on. First minute on the pitch, bam, cuts in, slaps the crossbar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not a fluke because he's been doing this. Go and look at what he's been doing in the under-18. This is what did they call it? Modus operandi? I know I've said that wrong, but that's whatever that word is, that saying is, that's what he is. Class, man. Absolute class, man. It's when the youths come on for us, they very really let us down. All right, we give them a little blight, but they, that first maybe 5 or 10 games where they're really excited, they're not going to let us down. You know what I mean? We've had. Look, I'm not going to go back to that, man. But I'm just glad that he had the opportunity to show. I'm not going to say he's a first team starter, but we've got Brighton in the FA Cup next week. Do you know what I mean? Does he see a little bit more game time in that game? You'd hope so.
I mean, you'd hope so, Mr. B, wouldn't you? You'd hope so because you saw. I mean, he had that sort of impact. I know he had an appearance the other day, and it was a bit munched. Didn't get to do much, but he had a lot of impact today. And the shot that went wide and hitting the bar as well. He showed he's got a little something about him, and I think we get the fans a bit excited about him. That's how you generate interest and get excitement about yourself, by making an impact like that, coming on and making you a talking point, which is really good. I like Lacey, what he did today, and I think that's what you need to do as a young player coming on. You remind me of Anthony. This is what Anthony could have been doing, coming in off the left and whipping in, dangerous shots and being a threat in that way. And he's got a good balance about him, even though he's quite small. He's got a nice balance about him. He looks to sort of link up the play, and he's got his head up when he plays. So it's really good. And to have players like Bruno around to guide these guys through and show them, to get more confidence. He's got. I was watching this towards the end of the game, passing to Kobe, Yoro, Heavens on the. There's a lot of young players on our side. So the future is looking bright, as in if we can start developing these players and bring them through. But talking about the youth. I'm more to talk about experienced players letting us down. And the second goal that we conceded to Burnley, for me, once again, it's experienced players like Martinez. He's not getting close enough in the box to Anthony, and allowed him to turn and get a shot off without no touching him. Couldn't even touch his shirt or anything. It's me. Talk to me, man. That to me, I'm vexed about that.
I understand the Martinez. I understand the Martinez one. Andrew, I've seen your question. I'm going to answer that afterwards. So just remind me before we go. Yeah, but I want to answer Andrew's question. Yeah. With that, you know when the player's just got too much ability for somebody. Because as much as he did it to score the goal, that you was chopping man up the rest of the game. Like proper cutting them in. And if we play football at a lot lower level, I'm not comparing us, but if you've got a man who's always cutting in his left, or he's chopped the guy on his left, you're always going to want to try and send him out, even if you've never seen him before. But he was always able to still manage to manipulate the ball onto his left foot. Saka does it. Robin used to do it. He's going to go. You know which way he's going to go.
Yeah.
But he will still show you something that makes you think maybe he's not. So I actually thought that Martinez probably could have got closer, but man, the goal doesn't. The goal doesn't move the other man. He had his head down, and even when you see the replay, he caressed that in. So I want to blame somebody.
All right, there's no blame then for you.
Yeah.
You're just saying sweet goal. You just have to take that in the Premier League at this sort of level. You used to play for Bournemouth, didn't you? I remember we had the Bournemouth guy on the show. One of the Bournemouth fan channels came on the show a couple of years ago, and he was telling us that Anthony's their best player, and he's a one for the future. But they sold him, and I thought, he can't be that good. But clearly, he's come on today and done the business. Came on for our former player Hannibal, didn't he? So yeah, that's it. I mean, look, we couldn't hold on to the lead. Like you said, there's 5 games there: West Ham, Bournemouth, Leeds, all these games where we've dropped points. That's 10 points that we should have. If we were at the races, we could have had 10 points there, or at least 8. And where would we be right now? We would be right in the mix, going up there to the top of the table. So just shows you we're not far off. It's just like 10%, 20% here and there, and a bit of improvement. And I saw a bit of improvement today. Guys in the chat, are you encouraged by what you saw with the change in formation? Because I know that's been a bugbear for you guys.
Not about the manager, not about moving forward. Just this specific game, when you saw what the players played in, this is what we're asking. I don't know no other side bits. Just that what we're asking.
Okay, so a couple of questions in the chat. I'm going to go to Andrew's one first. This one's for you, Mr. B. Just answer this before we shut it down. Can I ask you all this question? Why are we linked with Fletcher, Carrick, one? Why, as a club, are we always living in the past? There's two-part question.
The past was our glory days. So until we get some glory days back, that's what it's always going to be. They're still talking about the fake landing on the moon, for God's sake. You know what I mean? Like I said, so we're always going to be, there's always going to be that we have. In regards to Carrick and Fletcher, they want the noise to stop. The people upstairs at the club, my opinion, are sick of Gary Neville cussing, sick of Roy Keane cussing. If they get Carrick in, if they get Fletcher in, they get Ollie in. All of that stops because they're not going to be cussing them. So I think, me personally, I think it's to silence all of the external noise. What do you reckon, Yabba?
Yeah, look, I think it's a temporary measure, isn't it? If you're talking about like quick fix, someone as an interim before the proper manager comes in, then looking at someone like we did with Solskjaer in the past, and look at someone like Fletcher, who's currently in, we did it with Ruud van Nistelrooy, we did it with Carrick before. So I understand why these names are kind of linked. They know the club, and you could trust them to come in and do a temporary job. The main thing is about getting a proper full-time manager in, coming in, someone who's experienced enough and got the knowledge to run the club. As we said, what are the key indicators to running football club and running Man United? We want someone who ticks the boxes, and not many people out there, in my opinion. Second question, I think it came from Colin. He's saying a question: why are we passing backwards so much and allowing these teams to play low blocks and defensive time to regroup? The amount of backward passes today was unreal. Was that an issue for you?
We passed backwards a lot more, to be fair, but it's a tactic that everybody uses, Cole. It's a way of trying to trigger a press, and then you play past the press, and then you've got that player out. That's why, some people are good at the 4-2-2 low block where they're just sitting and the forward will run out and run back in. So I think that's more. I think that it was more along those lines.
Okay. I also think, look, it's confidence as well. If you get the ball, look at Lacey today. He didn't pass back. He got the ball. He wanted to go forward and do things. But when you got Agate, Casemiro, I think these guys...
Safety first, man.
Yeah,
Safety
a bit safer first, yeah, which is understandable. That's why I put Kobe in there, because he doesn't necessarily pass backwards. He's got enough talent to use the ball well, and you get 1-2s. If he passes it sideways on, he's making a move to get the return. That sort of thing. He's got that sort of confidence. Big up to Rio in the chat. Hope you're doing well, Rio. I hope everything's well with you, Rio. Big up to you. He says, sorry, just tuned in. Did I hear right? No blame for the second goal. You need to watch it back.
As I said, I will. As I said, it's what I watched. I will watch it back, and I don't have no problem admitting that I'm wrong. I'm good at that. My shoulders are broad, so I'll have a look. I'll look at it back, but I look at it. I'm a strike. Well, I'm a forward thinking player, and I think that he chopped him, man, and there wasn't much he could have done once he gave him that yard.
Okay, POTUS, I know you asked a question earlier. I couldn't find it, but you asked something about Casemiro. I think you asked about Casemiro. I do agree, Casemiro. We know what we're getting with him. He's older now. He's not going to do certain things that he used to. Basically saying here the formation, because we did ask a question, because you guys have been cussing about the three at the back. So they're saying, POTUS is saying the formation looked a lot better to me in the second half. First half was a bit of a mess. I still think we have a hole in the hole, HOL, center of the park, he's saying there. We've got big up to Johnny Hill, said, went on X for the first thing I see is a load of posts from people slandering Mainu. It's actually crazy the lengths people go to. I don't understand why people do that. Stephanie in the house saying, nothing surprised with United. They don't ask Alex Ferguson to be our caretaker to the end of the season. And finally, we're going to go to the man who's done the watch along. It's big up column to you. It says, I get the trying to trigger the press, but they barely pressed 87% of the time. We went backwards. So there you go. That's the facts. That's the facts. All right, guys, that was a quick post-match. We got time to sleep on it and calm ourselves down. We got big games coming out. FA Cup, which is our major domestic competition.
What day we playing the FA Cup?
It's on a Sunday. FA Cup.
Calm. Hi ho! Before you go, you want to watch along Sunday?
I think that's a yes. Yeah, so we've got Brighton coming up. A lot of training. Everyone's going to be back in training tomorrow morning. A bit disappointed. Our drive back home from Burnley, but we move on. This is the start of a new era for Man United Football Club with Darren Fletcher. Let's see how it goes. Let's support our boys and see if we can
Brighton
get on this.
Sorry to cut you off. We got Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton in the cup. And you've been told to sod off from Colin there. It's all love. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you share, subscribe, write in the comments. Tell us how you feel, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Man United agenda. It was 2-2 against Burnley, and we've dropped down to 7th. Opportunity knocks, and we didn't knock hard enough. Good night.